Christmas of 2020 looked very different around the world. Usually that day would be spent with your family, going to church, sitting around the fireplace, opening presents, and your 5th glass of eggnog in your hand. But due to current world circumstances, you may not have had the chance to do all that in person last year. So your surroundings may have been different, but there was also something very different about your home TV probably. Following the likes of Mulan and Tenet, Wonder Woman 1984 debuted on HBO Max, setting the precedent of large budget superhero movies releasing on your home TV screen rather than in your local movie theater. That meant you could have your cup of eggnog and Christmas cookies while avoiding the Jumanji stamping on the back of your chair, the super cholesterol popcorn, and trying to sneak in that number 4 with extra ranch in your body bag purse. Now, whether you watched the movie or the trailer, there was one thing that was prominently featured over and over again: Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. Like Batman's batarang or Green Lantern's ring, Wonder Woman can't leave her house without her trusty lasso. I mean, it's gotta be the Swiss Army knife of the Amazon, right? It's pretty apparent Wonder Woman is very reliant upon her lasso, and it even comes in handy when she needs to find out who ate the lasso cookies and cream ice cream in the freezer. So while I was watching the movie, I couldn't help but wonder, is there anything like this in real life? No, not the lasso itself, but do we humans have items that can force you to tell the truth? What it do? I'm Lumi and welcome to The Rabbit Hole. This is the series where we take pop culture ideas and dig into the real world science behind them. I upload every other Sunday, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more trips down here. Now obviously there is no real world example of Wonder Woman's lasso, and we can't exactly ask Hephaestus to make another one. But the first thing my mind went to as an alternative was a truth serum. Now, when you say truth serum, this actually refers to a number of mind-altering drugs that can have an effect on how your brain functions or processes information. Many of these are considered sedatives or hypnotics and often impair your brain's ability to do higher order functions like walk in a straight line, or in this case, lie. But in order to understand what I mean, we first need to understand how you lie in the first place. Remember back to that time in college when you were 5 shots in and honestly questioned how you got to this point? You may have found yourself in a place where you might have divulged a lot more information about yourself and your thoughts than you would have disclosed sober. That's because alcohol impairs your ability to use your filter. When you told your friend that dress wasn't ugly, or you told her that you like her for her personality, these are all statements that mask what you're really thinking in your head. So you took the information, you formed an opinion, and then thought critically about how your statement would be perceived, or what you could gain out of responding with a lie. When you tell a lie, there are 3 parts of your brain that are involved. There's a frontal lobe, which is responsible for critical thinking and making sure your lie makes sense. There's a temporal lobe, which is responsible for checking your memories to make sure things match up. And then there's a limbic system, which has to deal with regulating the anxiety you feel from lying, like worrying if you get caught. All these areas of your brain kick in when you tell a lie. Now, the way truth serums aim to work is by inhibiting one of these processes, especially the frontal lobe, as it impairs your logic just like that shot of Hennessy. By interrupting your ability to make your lie make sense, or by preventing you from recreating alternate images in your mind, truth serums can have the potential to force you to tell the truth. They can also cause you to not even realize that you need to tell a lie in the first place. All of these things, at least in theory. There are over 200 different compounds that could be considered truth serums, so it's hard to cover all of them. So let's just be more general. Most types of truth serums fall into the category of barbiturates. Barbiturates are a class of set of drugs that act as suppressants or sleep inducers, just like the calc teacher back in 11th grade. Just like those drinks from the bar, these sedatives can lead to impairment of brain function and can cause sleepiness, dizziness, or confusion. Many barbiturates are actually used today in hospital settings as anti-vomiting and anti-anxiety agents, but can become addictive or even fatal at large quantities. Now, these truth serums effectively work a lot like that liquid courage in a cup does. The problem is, though they may stop your brain from being able to formulate a proper lie or cause you to not even realize you need to lie in the first place, they can also cause you to remember things wrong. In many cases, truth serums have been proven to be ineffective or unreliable because in small doses, people are still able to lie, and in large doses, they may think they're telling the truth, but in fact, these are false memories. You see the problem here? The person you're interrogating fully believes they're telling the truth, but what they're saying never actually happened. Now you might be wondering, why even bother with a truth serum when you could just use a lie detector instead? Lie detectors rely on body markers to determine if you're lying or not. Lie detectors measure things like blood pressure, heart rate, and breathing, so this method takes advantage of your limbic system. Remember, that's the one that's concerned with how the person you're lying to perceives your lie. For the average person, your heart rate and blood pressure usually increase as a defensive response, like when you lied about taking the chicken out of the freezer when your mom got home. Though lie detectors can be used as evidence in court, they aren't foolproof. Since it relies upon your natural body signals, there are times where it can be misleading. For instance, you could just be nervous, and even though you may be telling the truth, your heart rate increases just because you are asked a question. Now, the people who are trained to operate these machines are usually good enough to know the difference. However, the part they can't see is if you're a habitual liar. Humans are creatures of habit. Because of that, your brain has developed ways of making shortcuts to get through repetitive tasks like washing dishes or driving the car. That's why you can get through these things and not really recall the details after doing them. It's like putting your body on autopilot. This can also happen when telling lies too. If you can prevent your limbic system from snitching on you when you tell a lie, you can fool a lie detector test. In other words, if you can keep your cool, you may be able to lie your way all the way through it and pass it anyways. The coolest part about all of this is we're just talking about lying. Something so menial that we do it without even thinking and usually can't get through a day without telling at least one little one. But even something as minuscule as a little white lie holds a whole lot of science behind it. So Wonder Woman's lasso is even cooler than I realized. Not only can she swing from lightning bolts, she can also override your brain and cause you to tell the truth without you even knowing it. But you know what else is a lie? Detoxes. It's New Year's resolution time, and I have a video coming up where we debunk the myth of the detox. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one coming soon. I'm Lumi, and thanks for coming to the Benchtop. I'm right here every 2 weeks, and make sure you follow me on TikTok, where I post funny shorts on a regular basis. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep thinking.